Imagine living in a country where you will probably never become a citizen, yet you still choose to stay. You build your career there, you raise your family there, you invest your money there, and eventually you start calling it home. This isn't a theory, it's the reality of the United Arab Emirates, where nearly 95% of the population are foreigners. Think about that for a moment. Almost everyone around you comes from somewhere else. So the question is, how did the UAE build a country where millions of expats stay? Not because they have to, but because they want to. Most countries are built around citizenship. People are born there, grow up there, and remain part of the same national identity. But the UAE is different. Here, the majority of residents come from every corner of the planet: Asia, Europe, Africa, the Americas, different languages, different religions, different cultures. Yet somehow all of them managed to live together inside one of the most stable countries in the region. And that stability didn't happen by accident. It was designed. For many expats, the first thing they notice is something simple but powerful: safety. Dubai and Abu Dhabi consistently rank among the safest cities in the world. Telegram founder Pavel Durov once pointed out that even during periods of global tension, Dubai statistically remains safer than many cities across the globe. For millions of people coming from countries facing economic or political instability, that level of security is life-changing. When people feel safe, they don't just work, they build lives. But safety alone isn't enough to keep millions of people in one place. Another factor plays a huge role: trust. Many residents believe the UAE's leadership focuses heavily on stability, economic growth, and long-term planning. The country constantly invests in infrastructure, technology, and opportunities that attract talent from all over the world. And when people see that kind of long-term vision, they begin to feel confident about their future there. But there's something even more powerful than safety or opportunity: community. Walk through any neighborhood in Dubai and you'll hear dozens of languages in a single street. Indian restaurants next to Lebanese cafes, European bakeries beside Filipino grocery stores. At first glance, it might seem like a temporary global workforce, but over time, something surprising happens. People start forming real communities. Neighbors look out for each other. Friendships grow across cultures, and slowly the city begins to feel less like a foreign country and more like a shared home. This idea is actually reflected in the words of UAE, His Excellency President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, who once said, "We cannot replace their homeland, but we can make them feel at home here." That philosophy is simple, but powerful. The UAE understands that most expats will always have roots somewhere else, but if a country can create stability, opportunity, and belonging, people will still choose to stay. In a world where migration often creates division, the UAE has created a different model, a country where the majority of residents weren't born there. Yet many still feel connected to the place they live. And that raises an interesting question for the future. Could this be the blueprint for how global cities will work in the decades ahead?